All right. We're here, Mark with London's Golden Gate with Philippe and with Andrew Jackson. No. And we just heard from O'Kane. What's your name? Carol? Clare O'Kane. And we just heard from the band called Coop, which I like. And despite my harshness and all this, I really love jazz and just, musicians can really express an ethereal beauty to life.
I don't know what that means.
And the only reason why I'm being a little obnoxious and pushy on the air is simply to get ratings.
Are you being obnoxious and pushy?
A little bit. Because deep down, I am a jazz musician. I really love the ethereal, the beauty. I cry in movies.
How come we never see that part?
Because I got the hard edge. You know what I mean? I got to,
What does ethereal mean?
Ethereal means different things. What does it mean to me?
Literally,
Well, you just used it.
Oh, ethereal means sort of heavenly, misty. Imagine a silhouette of a woman against a purple sky, and you can barely make her out, and she wisps across the screen. What are you laughing at, man? I am a romance person who's got to deal with people like you. The reason why I got an edge is because people like you make fun of my dreams of the essence of what I am. I am a musician.
You're an artist.
I'm an
Even
artist.
though you live in the Tenderloin, actually, so you live in the Oakland of San Francisco, so
That's right.
he gets respect.
That's right. I live there on purpose. Anyway, so that was a great band. And this particular band comes out with an album like once every 10 years because apparently they're from Sweden. And apparently they take digital samples and they arrange it into jazz music. So
it's like techno jazz.
kind of, but it sounds like they're playing the instruments. So it's really just kind of a beautiful thing, music ties us together. Music is the soul. Remember, the universe vibrates. The universe exists. String theory, everything is vibrating. Resonance.
Different people say different things are the universal language, like love is the universal language or mathematics. And I asked one of my friends who's American, and he said violence.
Yeah, totally.
Everybody understands violence.
Yeah, exactly.
It's true.
Yeah. But ultimately, even if you live in the ivory towers, you're living off the back-breaking work of small people.
Well, yeah, basically.
And they have to recognize that. It's a pyramid.
Well, speaking of the pyramids, people, it always offended me when people were like, there's no mathematical possibility that they could have made those pyramids back then without the technology that we possess today. And it's like, yeah, you can. You just whip people to death.
Yeah,
until
it's amazing.
they do what you want.
Do you know how they built it? The first time I saw the pyramids, I don't know if I told you this. I was 10 years old. I was standing in the Cairo Hilton. I was with my guide, and he goes, look at the pyramids. You can see them from here. And I'm looking out in the distance, and I can't see any pyramids. All I see are these mountains in the distance, right? He says, oh, those mountains are the pyramids. And suddenly I realized they were straight edges. And can you imagine that? I'm like, these things are fucking huge. I mean, imagine standing there and seeing the silhouette of the pyramids. And the way they built a lot of the temples and pyramids there literally was they would imagine the columns. Like an example would be Karnak Temple. They had these huge, 50-foot columns. They would put a stone down. Then they would fill the whole thing with sand. Then they would put another stone. And they would fill the whole freaking temple with sand. And then when they were done, they would take the sand out. Who the hell was doing all that? The freaking slaves.
People who didn't want to die.
Yeah, and the same thing with the pyramids. I don't know if the pyramids were something similar. Can you imagine the amount of slaves they must have? And slavery was coded into the Bible and everything,
Yeah, the Bible says you can have slaves as long as you treat them well.
Yeah, so it's like when everybody says, gay marriage.
That rule.
Yeah, exactly. Well, gay marriage is against the Bible. What are you talking about? The Bible says slavery is legal and charging interest is illegal. What is this, the cafeteria plan?
That's what they said. In which Bible did it say that charging interest? The Old Testament?
I'm pretty sure it was the New Testament. That's the reason why Jews are bankers. Because it was illegal in the New Testament to charge interest.
And then in the old one, they're like, yeah, do it.
The old one was like, no, that's money makes the world go around,
Well, I think you should get something for lending people money. I mean, what's it, kindness?
Well, it's very simple. If I don't charge you interest, I ain't lending you any fucking money.
That's exactly right. That's how we got ourselves into the situation we're in right now.
Yeah, exactly. By lowering the interest rates almost zero.
All right, so we got film reviews.
Film reviews, okay.
I saw a movie this week. I saw The Place Through the Pines, and it was with Ryan Gosling, Bradley Cooper.
Oh, I wanted to see that.
That movie is fantastic.
I have a little story about that movie. I once was traveling around Brooklyn by myself in the rain, and I went to a bar that I knew someone who worked at, but she wasn't working there. Someone who, whatever, you know what I mean. I can't speak
understand what you mean.
So I'm sitting there alone, and then I overhear a conversation. This guy and this other guy are talking about one of the men's ex-girlfriends who apparently the night before had beat him up or whatever and sent him to the hospital. Yeah, anyway, that guy turned out to be the editor of that movie and Blue Valentine, and he also gave me a ride on his motorcycle, which is the first time I'd ever ridden on a motorcycle.
Did you make up the motorcycle part?
No, that's true. That's true. And I did not have sex with him.
Boo.
Why not?
I don't know.
Wait, you think you didn't have sex? You didn't have sex with him because he wasn't good at looking enough, or you had sex with somebody else and you were kind of tired?
I think I was just sleepy.
Well,
I should have had sex with him in retrospect.
No, but a motorcycle ride, that kind of takes it out of you.
Well, he looked like James Dean, and I was like, ugh, I don't know where I am.
You were too much of a nerd.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, I'm not worthy of this man's affections.
Pretty much.
But the reason
heroin chic.
Are you heroin chic?
No, he was.
He was. Oh, I like that. That's a cool look. That's where you look all wan and pale, but beautiful at the same time.
Yeah.
Like you remind people of
sick.
Well, I heard a funny joke from one of your the comedians. She said something like she was talking to somebody who said, "What does it feel like to shoot up with heroin?" Well, you have this warm. It's a little leak. It was her. It was a leak. You get this warm feeling like you're being cuddled and somebody put a blanket over you. So her response is, "Why don't you get a boyfriend and put a warm blanket over you and have sex and not take heroin?" That was a funny joke. But is that what it's like? I mean, anybody here taken heroin?
No. I would like to someday.
It might be fun to try it.
Yeah, just once.
I just, for once, want some peace and quiet, and I want a hassle-free day, and the only way to do that is to shoot up with heroin.
I think so. Get doped up.
I may have a lousy day the next day, but at least this day I'm going to have a hassle-free day.
I don't want to spout conspiracy theories, but it's not a conspiracy theory, it's fact.
Yeah.
I'm sure all conspiracy theorists say the same thing. But
conspiracy theory people are crazy.
Oxycodone is synthetic heroin. They've basically found the chemical formula for heroin, and they've synthesized it in a laboratory because they couldn't control the trade routes from Afghanistan. And it's the same thing with cocaine. It's like if you want to import things from overseas, you need to pay tariffs and you need to pay the people who bring it, and then they want a fair trade, which America does not want to do with anyone.
Yeah.
So it's like that's what they do. They make the legitimate organic substance illegal, and then they synthesize it in a laboratory and put it out as a pharmaceutical. And the pharmaceutical is like advertised on TV, whereas like you get raped in the ass if you take the original organic compound.
Well, this is like intense. I'm trying to figure out the whole implications of all this.
Well, it's just money. That's all it is.
Well, it's amazing. Like, when you look back at the British Empire, again, you look at the reasons why they were in like China and some of the things that happened. You know, you had the old opium wars and the opium trade. And apparently, the British, who were supposed to be like the epitome of civilization, who made the world civilized, are just these crooks.
Pretty much.
Who can be the biggest criminal? All right.
Yeah.
So so what was the movie like?
The movie, shit. See, this is Mark always gets me off the track.
Yeah, we're talking
it's
about.
It's always Mark's fault.
Yeah.
It is. The thing that I loved about it is that it doesn't actually have a single protagonist. There's not just like
perfect.
There's not like one person that the whole movie. It's actually linear, and it runs in sequence, but it goes through like 2 or 3 generations of people and their stories. And it was really, really compelling because I think that the whole central star of a movie kind of gives people the false feeling that
it's not real.
Yeah, well, that like you're more important than everybody else's story. But
like Olympus Is Falling, the one with the president. Because this is a classic. One guy is against these terrorists. Yeah. I want to see a movie like that. We have this great one guy, and he just gets killed by a stray bullet. See how tough you are now. You just stray bullet hits him, and then he's dead.
I think they did that in Executive Decision. I think.
Movie?
Yeah, it was.
Is it the one with Harrison Ford? No.
No, it was the guy with the slick back hair. What was his name?
Steven Seagal.
Steven Seagal.
Remember when he died? That was the best part of the movie, when he died at the beginning.
Yeah,
like, all right, finally.
That was the thing. Like the hero got killed at the beginning, and then it's the nerdy executive.
Oh, was that Kurt Russell?
Kurt Russell.
Yeah.
Saves the day.
Well, I saw the new Tom Cruise movie.
Yeah.
Oblivion.
Yeah.
Which first of all, the cinematography, the mood was just absolutely fabulous. The story was interesting, had an interesting spin. I think it was probably worth seeing.
Yeah.
It was a good movie. Yeah, really. It wasn't like epic. It wasn't as great as like Prometheus.
Prometheus.
Which
I
took
didn't
me a
get
while.
into Prometheus.
Yeah, it took me a while to warm up to it, but I think the story is very intriguing.
Did you like Prometheus?
Yeah, I liked it a lot.
Yeah, and this one actually had a Prometheus kind of angle to it.
Compared to Aliens?
Yeah, right. It wasn't the same.
It just like had no storyline.
Well, I mean, it seems total. It's a totally different movie. It's about the same thing, but
it leaves a puzzle. See,
well, it's Ridley Scott
yeah.
making a movie about aliens in outer space, and he used the same illustrator. Like he takes all these monsters.
Oh, did he?
from the
Yeah.
same guy.
But 20 years ago, or whenever that movie was made,
It's like
It was
Aliens
1979.
without the
30
yeah.
plus years ago when that movie was made.
You mean like?
The technology's completely different, and it looks, I don't know. It
Shit.
doesn't compare visually, aesthetically.
I think Aliens is still visually compelling.
The first one or the second one? Aliens is the second one. Alien
Looks
is
like
the first
it's shot in a warehouse
It was still
compared to Prometheus.
that was shot on a computer.
Yeah, exactly.
Who gives
In
a
a warehouse.
one. Wow, that's amazing. It's amazing what they can do with that
Oh,
technology.
well, we've got our next guest coming on, everybody.
All
this
right.
guy, it's a very special treat.
Yeah.
There's something about this guy that you will recognise.
Hi, guys.
Uh-oh.
Bye, guys.